I am Sally Boucher, and I'm going to be sharing with you what has been my experience being a part of a Matthew 25 congregation. So I'm going to paraphrase what I think of as the gist of this Matthew 25 vision, and it's that our denomination wants every congregation to be energized and vitalized to take action within their communities and the world towards eradicating poverty and racism. I'm sure that's a gross oversimplification, but that's my understanding. As Rick realized, we were a Matthew 25 church before it was a thing. In some way, working within the world towards social and economic justice is built into Trinity's DNA. I've thought a lot about why that is and what happens at Trinity that encourages us and simultaneously energizes us to be active in the world. And it seems to me there are two factors that coalesce within Trinity's structures. The first is simply our small groups, whether a house church or a Marks group, or even the tech team for the most introverted among us. Becoming involved with a group of people from different ages and backgrounds with different beliefs, but who share a mission focus that we all feel called to, is something that's always been nurtured at Trinity. And connecting within these small groups in both personal and spiritual ways forms the basis of deep and lasting relationships based on shared values and mutual trust. The second factor I believe that contributes to our success in outreach is intentionality. The small groups we recognize as house churches or Marks groups are called annually and covenant intentionally by identifying goals and objectives for the year. And each year they close evaluating what went well and where they may have fallen short. They can then decide whether to recall the group, and this creates sort of a fluid annual life cycle of these groups, from calling, covenanting, evaluating, and then recalling. It keeps our groups fresh and relevant. It allows missions to evolve and change as we see needs changing in the community, and it allows people to come and go among groups as they feel personally called. So the relationships within a small group, those relationships built on mutual trust and shared values, are important. And likewise, our intentionality within that group, our agreement to be accountable to each other and the broader congregation, and to be present in the community to the needs we've identified, is another component of what makes Trinity work. But what happens within those small groups is a little harder for me to articulate. I've found that when we gather as a house church or a Marks group, when we have a passion for a mission, praying for it, reading about it, discussing it, and advocating for it, we're readying our hearts and minds to respond creatively when we see need. So when we see racism or poverty, need or injustice, we don't have to stop and say, "What is this?" or even, "What can I do?" We already know what we're seeing, and we're already prepared to take action. And each one of us goes out into the world knowing that we have the others with us. It takes the scary out of taking action. This past year has been a good one for those of us in Sanctuary House Church, at least in one way. Working with each other to understand the immigrant experience and the challenges facing particularly those crossing our southern border from Latin America. We met Marisol and Liliana, who traveled to Harrisonburg from Honduras. Some have suggested God brought them to us, that it's a miracle. That certainly seems possible. I think of our growing relationships with Marisol and Liliana as everyday miracles. I think the universe is pregnant with miracles, just waiting to be seen and called into being. Or said another way, God can create a miracle out of an endless abundance of possibility. We just have to prepare ourselves to see them and to respond. Our house church readied ourselves by developing relationships based on shared values and mutual trust. We discussed and stated our intentions to welcome the stranger and provide sanctuary where we could. Only then did the Holy Spirit stir us from placidness to see Marisol and Liliana as the miracles they are. And the really amazing part of what is happening is that they're touching us in the most profound ways. There's no question in my mind that God is found in relationships and that miracles happen every day.